Hey there, fam. Thank you so much for joining me in this all signs general tarot reading. Definitely have been working through these healing energies, especially recently while we're all on our healing journeys. Remember, if you don't relate, if it's not resonating within your soul, that's okay. It's somebody else's message, and this is your life. You have a plethora of options right here on YouTube, and I trust that the messages will find those who need to hear them. Thank you for joining me. Let's get into it. Start with the archetype cards. I did do a bit of pre-shuffling, so let's just go ahead and do a little bit more, because why not? That was E for effort. There we go. That's a good shuffle. The comic. Hey there, silly Billy. The siren. I don't know about you, but I've been trying to figure out the right way for me personally to share my songs, to share my voice and singing. I don't know. We shall see. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius, as humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama. The comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into a potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician, working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. All too often, comics are hiding a deep sorrow or sadness that people don't even at times realize is within them. The siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters. In the world of the siren, the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, 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 to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to Triland. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option unless, this is one of those names and words that I only ever see in print and I never get to actually hear. And I film on my phone, so I'll check it later apparently. But Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. I will never get upset if anyone corrects my pronunciation with certain things. I appreciate it because I would rather speak true than ignorance. You know what I mean? I'm getting this feeling of someone, at least for a while, being silenced and finally, recently, finding their voice again and trying to figure out what that means for you now, right? We have the music industry seemingly crumbling right now. And yet, we also have so many means, so much more so than when I was in my teens and 20s and whatnot, to be able to share independently with the world. Maybe you're worried that you're too old, and friend, family, I really need you to understand that that is a societal trap that you no longer belong in. You never belonged in it, quite frankly. So don't let that get in your way. And especially, please stop getting in your own way. You may not know exactly what to do now, but the more you open yourself up to the possibilities, the more easily you'll be able to figure that out, okay? Yeah. Heck yeah. It's all a healing journey, right? We saw those cards recently, didn't we? But we're moving beyond that vibe to the new. When I have difficulty shuffling, like they don't want to, right? I always look and I check to see what's going on. And this was one of, like, when I was like, oh, hey, thanks for the reminder. I appreciate you. Escapist is a bit about unhealthy coping mechanisms, right? It's one thing to go on vacation, to recharge, to meditate, to need a moment to breathe. And it's another thing to lose track of time in it, to allow the days, weeks, and years to go by. You need to catch yourself. You have a life to live, fam. Everyone wants to escape their lives occasionally. Some of us like to binge watch shows. Some of us love to listen to music. Some of us love to read. There's just too much light going on, and I'm all about love, okay? Thank you for vibing with me. And some of us like to leave it all behind and go on vacation. All of that is totally healthy. Our lives can get incredibly stressful. However, too much escapism can mean that you're not confronting a big problem, which isn't healthy for you. Face it head on and let the pieces fall where they may. Seems like, at least with my algorithms and like Pinterest and such, a lot of people have been learning that to dream, like daydreaming, like constantly throughout the day, is actually not good. It's one thing to have plans and goals, to be living, you know, in the end game and considering yourself already there and happy, so fulfilled and all that good. But a part of being able to change your life and manifest, if that's a word you prefer to use, is acceptance. Acceptance in the now, who you are right now, where you are right now, and its place along your journey, right? How are you able to move on from it if you've yet to fully accept it? That doesn't mean that you condone or approve, especially if you're in a toxic environment. But it means that you're able to embrace the right now and live in the right now and still love, still be you. Be able to make those plans, be able to know what it is exactly that you would like to change, honoring yourself in the now is incredibly important. Okay? That's going to lead us to card 24. You're familiar with the concepts of self-love and self-care, but either you've never actively practiced them or there's something you've fallen behind on. Either way, you should get back on track. Keep yourself maintained in all ways, big or small. That can mean calling it quits to take a luxurious bath instead. Or that can mean putting on a rose water face mask and getting out your planner so you can sort out your life before it gets too out of control. It's a lot of green and pink in this card, representing the heart chakra. There's something particular. There's something within that you may not have admitted to anyone else. Or maybe you don't have anyone in your life currently. Maybe, loved ones that you were fully accepted by have passed on and are trying to support you from there now. Maybe being able to accept that part of yourself. And I'm going on this idea that, hurt hurts, and that's not what we're about. We're not about hurting anyone else. We're not about forcing our ideas and ideals onto anyone else. I'm feeling the urge to point out that if there's a specific person that you've been trying to draw in closer, I want you to be open to the idea of you coming first, right? Of acknowledging that if the universe, the divine, your inner self, if we're going along the lines of Christ is within us, knows that there's better for you, right? Remember to leave those loopholes in your affirmations and your mantras and what you're doing, whether it's a specific person or money or a new job, whatever it is that you may be trying to draw into your life. Remember that the energy that you're putting out toward it, if it's a person and they would never accept it, it's probably going to come right back on you. Because where else is it going to go if it's not accepted, right? That's why they say to be careful about love spells. Be careful about your wishes and your wants and the energy that you yourself are putting out there. Because I do believe that we ourselves, our minds, our subconscious, our innermost desires are creating the world around us. So if you don't believe that you deserve it, if you're wanting merely someone else to believe in you in order to believe in yourself, you've got it backwards, my love. It begins with you. Please learn self-love. Learn how to truly heal, all right? I'm sorry to those that that's not resonating with, but somebody really needed to hear that, okay? Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Let's lighten it back up as we like to do here. And remember, it's time for clarification. Let's see what the tarot has to say about this message. Ah, damn. There's a lot of healing going on in order to do the things that we know we want to do. And if you can't see it right now, be sure that it's not yourself keeping it from you. Because I personally believe that this being here, whatever, masculine, feminine, NB energy, I think they're holding the bonds. That's why they're kind of loose. It's kind of haphazard, right? It's like you've been needing to isolate and protect yourself, and you're trying. I do believe you're trying. But there's a very particular that you're only just barely tapping into. You've just, I don't want to say you've reached the surface of it. You're getting in there. But don't, you're not done yet with that particular. Keep it up. Keep going. You need to be your own siren. You need to remember how to laugh yourself. And not like, this person's making a joke. Remember how to truly, from within the depths of your soul, laugh again. And dance. This is the dancer of the tarot. Release the bindings. It's good to know what to turn to, what music, what shows, what books, whatever those creature comforts are. That's basically like your comfort food, right? Like for me, for so long, it's been Buffy, right? Oh, okay, stomach. You are fed, but all right. Digest and make some noise. You know what I mean? Something that has always been able to remind me that whatever's happening, I can handle it. But I too reached a point where I needed to be a hermit up on the mountain for a while. Fam, these tarot readings, this whole channel is for my kindred souls. I'm not just yapping, I promise. You don't have to believe me. It doesn't change my life at all. I believe myself, you know what I mean? Here we go. Boop, ba, doop. Chapter 1. What did I say? What is it that you're closing yourself off to? Because if the 2s are meant to represent like a new beginning, this is a bit more, this is like the painful version of that internal struggle, right? So either you've become very clear on what you no longer accept and what you no longer are willing to put up with. But what if it's become too fierce, fam? What if in that overprotection, you're keeping them out? The things that you so badly want, this new beginning that you've been longing for. This is happening and that's happening because they follow, they never proceed, right? That's what Neville says time and time again. But where are the other? Where are the particulars, right? There's been so much encouragement. You've seen the synchronicities. You've noticed differences occurring. And even those darkest souls around you. I mean, maybe they go back, to whatever in a moment, but there are things happening that have you already in awe. But what about the particulars that you've really been striving toward, you've been working toward, you've been trying to manifest this new beginning? I urge you to be very careful about what these walls that you've put up that are trying to mimic boundaries, when in reality, you've isolated yourself, right? You're making jokes instead of getting to the core and admitting the core to anyone. And it's a sword, so that's the mind. That's also air. So, if you're, what is that? I know it's Gemini, right? I'm very close with Geminis. Those are usually the people that are closest to me. We understand one another. They get me talking. Like, what is that? How dare, oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like this is representing those things that you so badly want, that you're trying to draw in. Because the pentacles, those are the seeds you're planting, your foundation that you're building, right? It's everything. It's not just earth, like my fellow Virgos and Taurus. My moon is in Taurus. And Capricorns, you crazy kids. And this is like the slowest one of all the nights in the tarot. So either this has been a long time coming. Yeah. You've been waiting and trying to get it to happen, and it's happening as it's meant to happen, as it's allowed to happen. What are you holding back on? I'm remembering we just recently saw the Castle card, or was that my personal? That might have been my personal one. Yeah. I'll go ahead and share a picture here. The castle can defend, right? But it can also imprison. They can be cold up on those mountains, forgetting all of the gems that are within. So please be very aware of the gems that are within you, fam. All right? This is your foundation this is that new beginning, and it's trying to come through. So please allow it. Oh my goodness gracious. The two slowest. Now, I know that a lot of people like to point out the wings and stuff, and that usually maybe the person themselves is swift and fluid and free moving like water. But this horse seems to be more like prancing in place, like they're excited and they're ready, but and this is your heart, your ability to feel. These are your roots and your hearts. That's what I'm sensing for right now, anyway, with this particular. They wish to be unbound now. See? You're sitting there going, I've done X, Y, Z. I'm doing all the things. I'm robotically affirming. I'm looking myself in the eye in the mirror. I'm creating these things, and it's great. But there's particulars. And it's all leading in that direction. So be sure that you're not full of apathy, that you haven't reached that point of numbness with it and all. Like, this is what I do every single day. This is what I do all the time. Personally, my affirmations have recently evolved to a point of I'm trying to not do so much I am. Thinking about starting a channel of just for affirmation videos, actually. I'm starting to begin my affirmations with I know. I know that I'm open to receive my manifestations. I know that I am full of love that I'm ready to share. I know that I can handle whatever life throws at me. I know the wisdom that I have gained, right? Right? Okay. That this is falling under the Two of Swords. I don't want to discredit what you've been through. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's definitely not my intentions. I'm really sorry if I've come across that way. I'm so sorry. But I refer to this part of my language as the fuck around and find out card. If you hadn't done those things, then I wouldn't have had to figure you out and call you out and handle things accordingly. So you have every right to set boundaries, and it's good that you've been learning that. That's a big yes. But just please make sure you don't have a vice grip on it, right? Remember the wisdom that you've gained. Like, one thing I always notice about this one and the Seven of Swords are they're holding an amount and there's two. For the 7, it's left behind, and the 2 are on the ground. People may be trying to guilt trip you and calling you selfish and, oh, you're too good for us now. I mean, if that's how you prefer to think of it, then guess you're not paying attention to what I actually said to you. You know, because people, really all we're doing is projecting the good, bad, and the ugly. It's like I was saying, it's coming from within you. And you don't want, so the fact that you don't want it anymore, that you've learned, okay, you know what? I'm tired of this kind of energy. I'm tired of this kind of bull crap. That's what enables you. That alone, learning that, deciding that, and figuring that out for yourself is one of the best parts of self-love. It's one of the best ways to truly return to yourself. Just don't let it get in your way, okay? There's more beyond that. Oh my goodness gracious. To New Beginnings, fan. Look at it, just falling underneath the Knight of Pentacles. Such a long time coming. This has been a long cycle, a long process. And there may have been some bumps along the way, but you continue. You continue to work on yourself, to heal, to handle things better and better and better. You can see it clearer. And that's why it's okay for you to take off the blindfold. And it's okay for you to believe that life happens, like when it can be completely unexpected from what you're trying, you know what I mean? When it's difficult to plan or to live in the future when you're in the present, right? To live as though everything's worked out when that's an experience that hasn't happened and you don't truly know, right? It in and of itself is a daydream. So just free yourself of the what is this vibe? What is it that I'm trying to say? I keep hearing like complete abandon, but that's not, I don't want to use words like abandon, right? Because that's not it. That's not the right thing. And I feel like that's something that's been used against too many of us throughout our lives, right? Right? Oh, thanks for tapping into my abandonment issues, right? That's kept us in the wrong places for too long, that kind of talk. And I feel like that's something in your subconscious that doesn't belong there anymore. It's part of what we're trying to retrain on out of our subconscious, right? This is the reason why we're going to move forward, we continue to move forward, is because we know it's going to work out. It looks like they're about to go off the cliff, but what if they're just going to take a seat and just really look at the landscape before them, and find the best path down? Because they don't want to go backwards, only forwards. Why assume that they're about to go off that cliff, right? Boosh. Might as well have pulled the magician. This is the witch of the tarot family. Ooh, stomach, please. You have received your offering, okay? Such deep rumbles in my belly, like thunder. Listen, you've been through so much, so very much, and it has evolved you into the person now that you know how to handle these things that you never want to experience again. You can see it coming from a mile away, and it doesn't affect you the same way. How else are you going to rule a kingdom if you're not reacting in such emotional, fiery ways all the time? Like, yes, it's the wands, that's passion, that's drive, that's creativity. This card represents courage, bravery. You've had your heart decimated, and you are still capable of love. You're still capable of it, fam. That in and of itself is one of the best ways to be able to bear witness to a person's strength. That's one of the reasons why a default thing to say is, you are so strong. Even when you don't feel, because sometimes it can be really obnoxious hearing those words. But did you ever think that maybe the way you've been handling it has, at least to others, appeared so stoic, so calm, regardless of the war raging within you, the pain and turmoil? Something about the way you handle things helps others. you've been learning how to be that for yourself. This is such an incredible time. It is all coming to fruition, fam. You have everything you need. You're loving and accepting yourself. That's all you need. You got air. You better have air, or else I want names and numbers, all right? No, don't dox people, but just a phrase, just a thing, just a vibe I'm trying to share, right? Because no one has a right to take that from you. Certainly never again. Never, ever, ever again. Oh my goodness. Fucking gracious fam. How? How? Are you kidding me? Wow, the balance. Bam, look at you. Man, I'm just about to start putting them all out and then going from there. Because we started here and I was like, you're boo 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 boo. Like, I guess it means people needed to hear that. Huzzah. But like, it went bam, 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 bam. I mean, damn. You're so capable. Please be kind to yourself. And I don't mean the usual treat yourself even though your credit card bills are atrocious. I don't mean it like that. I mean your soul, your mind. This has been, oh my goodness, is that what it is? Is it actually flowing in a timeline this time? Wow. Okay. Well then, where shall we go first? What's next, fam? You tell me. Because that door is wide open. It's wide the frick open. And you opened it. That balance between masculinity and femininity right now, all the divine energies and resources that you need are in the palms of your hands. Personally, whenever I see the Three of Pentacles, I think of co-creating with the universe. And we're the ones holding the chisel because we have that free will, right? But it's always going to be there to help, to try to help, to give guidance, to remind you and encourage you along the way with those synchronicities and such. Please, please. Be very aware of, wow, the numbers. Where's the 3? Right? Oh, what am I talking about? Oh my God, I had it backwards and it was throwing me off. Boosh, fam. The rest is royalties. What's underneath? What's, oh my, that's the vibe. That's the general vibe. That's what the bottom of the deck represents for me in my readings. The general vibe of the reading is the freaking Wheel of Fortune after all of this. After all of that? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Fam. I did all that yapping and you didn't even need to hear that. Did you need to hear, did you really need that reminder? Are you sure? Are you sure? I appreciate that you hung out with me throughout all. Were you sitting there with your popcorn? Like, tell me something I don't know, bitch. How about that? Let's see what the extra notes are. Why not? Why not? Fuck it. Wow. Aw, Sam. Wow. That's freaking spiffy as fuck, if you ask me. Jesus Christ, you got... Well, if you stuck with me this long... Where is it? What is it that doesn't want to... Someone needs an auntie moment? Is that the deal? Auntie... Sounds like cunty, but auntie is like, oh my goodness. Huh. That definitely has meaning for me. Wow. Auntie is like, if you're non-binary like me, it's a mix of uncle and auntie. Auntie. Fam, I believe in you. Your life, your breath, your soul is so precious. And you started off with the comic and the siren. Speak up. Speak out. There are things that you've been wanting to do that you've been still holding back on. Please give in like it's anime. Enact your spine. Remember your wisdom gained. Remember that you have every right to love people at arm's length if you need to. Well, for a lot of us, the toxicity in our lives comes from our family, our very own family, our roots. None of you ever deserved that. Hurt hurts, and a lot of people are doing what they were taught to do, what they were raised to do, it's all they know. But you know better. You bear witness to all sorts of things, good, bad, and the ugly. You are still capable of being in awe of life and nature, the world of possibilities that you know is in the palm of your hands. Dream bigger. Whatever you're doing, you are on the right path. You've got this. You've still got this. And you will always have it as long as you want it. So if you're still trying to figure out exactly where, exactly how, it's coming. It's finally coming. Okay? So you keep it up and you remember why you're doing it in the first place. Don't lose sight of it. Don't lose sight of yourself. And it's all going to work out. And these are lyrics to that song Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, which has been in my head just looping lately. It's that loop jukebox. It's been the main track lately. I'm probably just gonna do a short or something singing it just to get it out of my system. See if another song can come in. What's on the bottom? Ha! Of all freaking Starship songs. Oh, fam. Now remember, you don't need to tell everybody your business. You don't need to tell people what you're doing. But you can demand respect in the sense of, no, don't talk to me like that. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. Following through on that. Nope. Nope. Sometimes it means just, you know, there are those who get really uppity about the silent treatment. Is it the silent treatment? Is it ghosting? Or did someone just finally realize that you are mistreating them and you're not nice and they've moved on and are holding you at arm's length because they need to? because they are healing and loving themselves enough to not allow that to be a part of their day, right? When someone matters to you, when you love them, their words and actions have an impact. So I don't care what they say. I don't care how they're trying to gaslight and tell you who they are. Nah, fam. They can take it to the mirror. All right? But you, look at you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's okay if you don't believe in God or the universe and all this woo 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 woo. I mean, you're watching tarot on YouTube, so hey, whatever. Or if you're more of the Buddhist and law of assumption, Neville Goddard, I just saw a little orb, black orb right here. And just boop, really quick. It can be you. You know how people say the Holy Spirit is within us. You know, when it comes to these other things, that's the Christ in us, the God within us controlling our world, our reality, and how we choose to look at things and absorb, dissect, figure out, trial and error, and evolve, right? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Look at you. Look at you. This is incredible. I'm so happy for you, fam. Oh, heck yeah. Never lose sight of that. And always remember that I love you.